But one thing that is also promising about AI machine learning is that we can also try to use it to solve bias. So there are companies like Textio, which helps you to look at your job postings and see if they're biased towards male or female candidates, and help you to remove those and suggest alternative words. Some interesting research I was reading from a couple of years ago is some models over text data that were having gendered relationships between things like doctor and men and nurse and women. When they could identify the gender bias, they could also go into the models and actively de-bias and remove that bias, which is pretty powerful if you think about it. So with humans, even if you identify bias, you can't really get rid of it very easily. People will acknowledge that they have biases and they need to work on it, but you can't just go out and zero out your vector and make sure that all future decisions are unbiased. But you can do that with AI models, potentially, depending on which ones you're building. If you know that you want to intentionally remove the biases here. There's other research happening in how do you decorrelate different things. So say you're building models and financial models, and you're not supposed to use race. This is actually regulated in some industries. So you're forbidden from actually using race as an input to your models, but there are proxy variables. So looking at zip code, for example, you can end up basically getting the same biases embedded. And so there are people working on how do we do post-processing around the output of these models to actively decorrelate.